There's like these streams of laptops that are out there. You have gaming laptops, which are obviously gaming laptops, the styling, and it seems weird to do other things on them because they are so gaming. And then on the flip side, on the other side of the spectrum, you have productivity laptops, which look like they're all business and typically don't have much attitude or styling. Today we have a laptop that is kind of in between the two. It has tons of style. It's actually a collaboration between ASUS and a fashion brand, Acronym. It can game. It is a gaming laptop inside, but it's not screaming it at you. It's just not telling you what to do or be. However, it has personality and a unique and unusual personality in the laptop space. It starts in the packaging, actually. You can see right here, property of working group, no unauthorized use. This is actually the branding at work before you even get past the cardboard box on the outside. We have some specs outlined. So GA401i, it is based on the G14 model from ASUS ROG, which is already a well-established gaming laptop with powerful internals. 14-inch display, 6 gigs of RAM. It has an AMD chip in it. 1 terabyte of PCIe storage, 32 gigabytes of RAM, Wi-Fi 6, and a 76 watt-hour battery. But again, you already know about all that. This unboxing experience is more about the styling, and it's more about the uniqueness of the unboxing experience. If you look over here, ROG Zephyrus G14-Acronym, reality modeling tool, frontline device, the Brain Access Terminal RMT, property of working group, no unauthorized. So you feel special. It is a limited edition. It's a special edition. Box number 1 and box number 2. And immediately you're gonna get a sense for the fact that something different is happening here. When you check out this part of the packaging, you have this cool looking futuristic bubble wrap. Now, this is an example of a logical type of packaging. You see this type of packaging frequently, but then an upgrade to it with the branding, Air PCS, Dynamics, a very futuristic, almost maybe like an anime type of feel to it, but still utilitarian, not like over-the-top luxury type of stuff. Power extension cable by the looks of it. And then we have the power brick, black holes in the now. Very cryptic. And it's almost like I feel I have to go in and read the fine print to see where all the little kind of Easter eggs exist, because they have embedded the branding into the fine print in many cases. All right, now things are starting to pick up steam here when you access the next portion, which is this tan envelope. And I think there's some special stuff in here. This is like, look at this little note. This is reminding me of the game Myst when I was a kid, all the little clues. Same with this. A necklace, a USB key, work group, a logo. I think there's also some component where you unlock certain aspects of the branding and so on when you plug this into your laptop. Oh, well, this will just drive you nuts, of course. That's kind of the point. Numbers. Why this sequence? Of course, Kirk already knows.
Cracked it.
Didn't take you long at all. All right, now the main attraction. Once again, property of working group, ROG, Acronym logo over here. It's kind of funny this is an ROG product because, as mentioned, not necessarily targeted. Oh, that's an interesting design they've done on the lid here, how it's kind of suspended the internal piece. Zephyrus reality modeling tool, and we have more of that bubble style packaging on the inside. It's not all that different from a typical laptop, but it's a little extra touch. Even the manuals and so on, wow, check it out. Now this bubble wrap here has some Velcro. Ooh, satisfying. Even this is somehow satisfying for some reason. The density of it. Ooh, all right. So there is the laptop. That is a cool look. You have the sort of matte metallic black finish. We have the special branding up top, but any branding that would be a typical logo or text is tiny. Like over here in the corner, what does this say? ROG Zephyrus, working group proprietary hardware. This is like the laptop that's in the video game. This is like the laptop you access in, I don't know, no, I was thinking even older than that. I was thinking Resident Evil. Like, you know what I mean? Working group proprietary hardware, reality modeling. The interface is always just text. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's always some sort of DOS-like environment. That's the vibe I'm getting from this. It's futuristic, but it's kind of like futuristic in the way that people perceived the future in the past. Very cyberpunky. It's almost like you have a thing here that you're not supposed to have, and that makes it feel exclusive. All right, looking around the device, we have our power port as well as a full-size HDMI port. We have a USB Type-C connector as well as a microphone input, headphone out. We have more branding over here, but again, very minor, tiny text if you want to go looking for it to appreciate it, but nothing on the back. The other thing about the back here is that these are tiny little LED lights capable of showcasing graphics. Of course, when I boot up the device, you'll get a better idea of that. Over on the other side here, we have two typical USB-A ports, another Type-C port, and then there's a Kensington lock port as well. The bottom brings even more kind of cryptic messaging, symbols, and the Zephyrus portion, black holes in the now. So lots of extra little touches here that make this thing special. Now, if I pop this open, ooh. Now this is really what this collab is all about. Completely matte black on the inside and this wild keyboard design, which is gonna be a bit polarizing. There are A's in the corners of every single key. I think you could get used to this. I think it's kind of in the same framework as if you've ever seen if you've ever seen mechanical keyboards that are sort of phantom mode without having any description on the keycaps, and then the end user feels special that they sort of know their very own keyboard super well. This is obviously not to the same extent as having no descriptions on the keycaps at all, but it's like it's kind of an organized chaos that you're gonna get used to, and then your friend comes over and it's like, whoa, what am I dealing with here? And you're like, exactly, no unauthorized use. Different colors on what would be function keys outside of just working as letter keys. Now, what's interesting, what they've done here, the color palette seems kind of obvious when you look at these earth tones, but then you have some super bright keycaps just adding a sort of a splash in there. No branding in the typical locations you would see branding, and it sort of throws your brain off because I've looked at so many gaming laptops that would have stickers and branding over here, and they would have branding on the screen somewhere, and so that just gives this device a uniqueness, and it sort of makes it feel like the ownership is more yours and not the brand. This matte black finish, this is a really nice feel to it. It's almost like a rubberized type of feel, and solid on the brown fox. Unique symbols, the brain, registered trademark, little Zephyrus up there, venting. This would be true for any G14 model. You have the deck, which kind of gets to a nice typing angle. This is a unique hinge design that they've been using for a little while, and they bring that through, so it's gonna help a little with cooling, but it's also gonna give you this kind of nice angle to type at. We power it up, and of course you notice straight away there's a quick little blink of the backlight. Oh my goodness gracious, check that out. How about that for a boot up sound? All right, so you immediately know something is different here with what you see on the wallpaper. To configure terminal and activate Exonet portal, insert the workgroup key. So at this point, I suppose we go ahead and plug the USB key in. And that brings up the disk. And we have delete me and do not open, which of course you should open. What happens? Whoa. The crypticness continues. We have a number of PNG files seemingly making up some sort of an image. And do not open brings us to a web page. And what happens here? Digital services, when not arriving, is not an option. Are these themes for the back lid? So what happens if I download one of these? As I understand it, this unlocks some type of README type of document. So I found the portion here where you get to select the graphic you're gonna have on the back lid. And here we have, I believe, the founder of Acronym. I think you can put his face on the back. Apply, confirm. Is that in there now? Oh, cool. You're gonna probably have to kill some lights. So you have some controls over how your image is gonna show up, or your graphic, or your animation. You can control contrast, brightness, and of course you can change it too. If you go to your content library, you can drop in something maybe more abstract, like this, and have that playing. These are all very glitchy, and they're of course meant to accentuate the design of the thing with that kind of futuristic glitch vibe. But if you want the full experience, you're probably gonna go with this effect because that's exclusive to this unit. It showcases the collaborator ultimately from Acronym that helped to design this and put it together. So this is kind of a cool little design element, and the regular version of this laptop does have a display as well as a similar light up lid. However, it doesn't have the perforations the whole way across. And so what you get here is, it seems like a bigger portion, even though you're lighting up this section over here. It kind of has a more uniform look to it, and then this just pops out or peeks out, as opposed to having part of the lid be smooth and then have your perforated dots and lights only in one section of the lid. There's a foreboding music titled "Delete Everything" on the USB key. So look, you can explore this thing. There's all kinds of hidden and cryptic aspects, and you can dive into it to whichever degree you see fit on this little USB key and cycle through all the variety of files and folders with funky names. For me, the key takeaway is this unusual collaboration. And I love the fact that this laptop is not specific to how you'll use it, but instead, it just seems like a tool. It seems utilitarian. If you want to game on it, absolutely go for it. It's got the spec sheet to be capable. If you want to do design work on it, do that. If you need to produce a music track, you need to develop a website, you need to answer email. It doesn't matter. The design is not telling you to do any one work activity. And I know that sounds kind of strange and it's tough to really convey the feeling, but you can't say this looks like other work laptops, and you can't say it looks like other gaming laptops. So that sort of frees things up. It's not typical, but it has some kind of sense of simplicity and utilitarianism to it that I really like. And I want to see more collaborations like this and more thinking outside the box, thinking outside the realm of what's already out there for laptops and then sort of rehashing it, but instead bringing some sci-fi into it, bringing some fun into it. That's what they've done here. If you want to know if you've made something cool, then all you got to do is check whether or not you've shown up on Hypebeast. You see, that's all you need to do. If you're there, then you've done something cool. Arrowson Hue, that's the face behind the Acronym brand. And we've got some specs here just to round out the specs. If you were curious if the thing can actually do some work or game, it absolutely can. It's got the GeForce RTX 2060 GPU. It has a Pantone validated 14-inch IPS QHD 60 Hertz display. So I guess that is one decision they've made that's sort of more into the creative professional lane as opposed to the gaming lane. You're gonna have really accurate color instead of a high refresh rate. An LED anime matrix side, that's this portion on the back, and of course that 8-core AMD Ryzen 9 processor. Price-wise, this thing is not gonna be cheap. Yes, it has a pretty decent spec list, but you are going to be paying to a certain extent for this unique experience. The price is gonna be around $3,000 USD.